Salve! I am Thomas Aquinas, a 13th century Catholic priest, theologian, and philosopher. This is the second of 3 videos proving the existence of God. In the previous video, I summarized Article 1 from Question 2 of the first part of my Summa Theologica. In the previous video, I explained why it is advantageous to prove God's existence and not just accept God's existence on faith. In this video, a summary of Article 2, I investigate whether God's existence can be demonstrated. Or, to say it in a way more familiar to modern viewers, can God's existence be proven without a doubt? Stay tuned for the answer. My answer to this question is a clear and resounding yes. God's existence is more certain than the existence of any other thing in the universe. I know this because reason and not blind faith demands it. Ironically, the Bible emphasizes the power of natural reason and not just faith in the Bible when it says that the invisible things of Him are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made. To explain why I am so confident in God's existence, I must first show you how philosophy can prove the existence of something. There are 2 approaches. First, you can argue from the known existence of a cause to the existence of its necessary effect. That is, you argue from a cause that is known by definition, which is known to be true before knowing if the object in question actually exists, to a necessary and related effect. For example, what if I defined Olga in the following way? Olga is a Category 4 hurricane. Olga's diameter is over 200 miles wide. Olga's eye is 25 miles south-southeast of Miami, Florida. Given these facts, what can you conclude about the weather in Miami? You could draw many particular conclusions, such as the wind is blowing, the surf is rough, and it is raining hard. Or, in so many words, you are in the middle of a storm. And how certain is your conclusion? Well, given these facts and our general knowledge about Category 4 hurricanes and what they do, it would be very safe to conclude that no one is enjoying a peaceful day at the beach, not even St. Anselm. We know that because we argued from the cause to the effect. Second, you can also argue from the effect to the cause. In this approach, you argue from effects you know. That is, from effects you experience through your senses to what caused those effects. For example, what if you were experiencing the following? Over 8 inches of rain have fallen in 4 hours at your home in Miami. Sustained winds are over 100 miles per hour. The ocean is 10 feet above its normal high tide, and the barometric pressure has fallen to 27.8 inches, or 942 millibars. Given these conditions which you have experienced, what can you conclude about the cause of your current situation? There is only one logical conclusion. You are in the middle of a hurricane. Let's be sure. Are there other possible causes? A tropical depression can cause rain and wind, but not 8 inches of rain in 4 hours, or sustained winds over 100 miles per hour. A tornado can cause winds over 100 miles per hour, but tornadoes do not cause sustained rain or a tidal surge. Tsunamis do cause large tidal surges, but not high winds or rain. What else could be the cause but a hurricane? Could some alien technology or an unknown supervillain cause those things? We have no evidence aliens or supervillains exist, so to name them as a cause is unreasonable, especially when we know what does cause those weather events: a hurricane. Now, how certain are you that you have found the cause? Very certain. Given these unique effects you are experiencing, there is only one reasonable causal explanation: a hurricane. Now, broadly considered, how strong are arguments that go from the effect to the cause? Well, it very much depends upon the cause and upon the relationship between the cause and the effect. Some effect-to-cause arguments are very weak. For example, how do you know if someone loves you? What if this person says they love you, and they buy you gifts and do nice things for you? Do those effects necessarily come about because they love you? Unfortunately, no. Such words and actions are often signs of love, but people sometimes lie about their motives. And the nice things they say or do for us, the effects, are caused by something other than love, like their desire to get something from us. Tragically, we all know of people who thought their sexual partners loved them, but they in fact only wanted the sex. The gifts and kind words, including the phrase "I love you," were not caused by love, but by lust. However, some effect-to-cause arguments are incredibly strong, and we know their conclusions are true. Logic demands it. For example, how certain are you that your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother existed? Do you know her name? Do you know when or where she was born? When she died? What she looked like? How she spent her life? How she met your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather? I think it's safe to assume that you cannot answer any of these questions about your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. And yet, I'll ask you again. How certain are you that this mysterious woman existed? I know with complete confidence that you are 100% certain she existed. Why? Because your existence, the effect, proves that she, the cause, had to exist. That is, if she did not exist, you would not be here now. But you are here. You exist. So your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother also had to exist, even if you don't have complete knowledge about her, like when she was born or died or what her name was. That is, to put it another way, there is a necessary causal relationship between your existence and her existence. Your existence necessarily proves she existed. You are the effect that could not exist unless she, the cause, existed. She did not exist because you believe in her or because you wish that she existed. You know that she had to exist because it is completely illogical to claim she never existed. My 5 ways to prove God's existence are all effect-to-cause arguments. That is, each of the 5 ways rests upon a similar necessary connection between an effect and a cause, namely, between what only God can do, effects that we can all sense, to God's certain existence, which is the only possible cause of those effects. This means, to successfully prove that God exists, I only need to point out to you something that only God could have made. Once I do, and you accept that an effect exists that only God, the creator of the universe, could have made, then you have proof that the Creator exists. That proof does not tell you everything about God's nature, like who God is or how one best worships God, but you know one very important thing, that God has to exist. So, are you curious to see these proofs? Good. I will give you 5 ways to make such arguments in the final video in this series. Before I end this video, however, I must address one important objection. Surprisingly, this objection comes from other Christians. These believers in God are known as Fideists, a name which comes from the Latin word for faith, or fides. Fideism holds that any argument that attempts to prove an article of faith, like God's existence, is destructive to one's faith. For having reasons to believe nullifies the need of faith, which they stress is assurance about what we do not see.
Exactly. I'm a true believer. I believe in God because I am confident in God's existence. Frankly, if anyone needs reasons to believe in God, they honestly don't have faith. Or if they do, their faith is weak and likely to be destroyed by a modern atheist or even a philosopher who claims to be a Christian. I have faith, and I don't need reasons to believe.
Fideists, however well-intentioned, are wrong. The existence of God and other truths about God can be known by natural reason, through certain philosophical arguments and not Scripture alone, and are not articles of faith. They are instead preambles to the essential claims of Christianity. Faith often presupposes that the one believing understands certain things about God first, which will later be made stronger and held with greater conviction. To be clear, there is nothing wrong if someone who cannot understand a proof accepts as a matter of faith something that can be proven philosophically. Some people are graced with this blind faith. Such faith is a great gift. However, it is just that most people who are able to understand and accept my 5 ways discover that having reasons for one's faith does not harm their faith, but strengthens it. Now please, join me in the next video where we examine my 5 ways, or the proofs for God's existence.